So let's run through the injury rundown here, starting with quarterbacks. Josh Allen, his shoulder, his non-throwing shoulder, really the exact same injury that Drew Lock got. I mean, as close as you can get. Everyone's thinking wrist or elbow, really was the shoulder. Landed on an outstretched arm, jammed, injured the shoulder. Cuff, rotator cuff sprain, possible small labral tear. Returned to play, as I thought, with a shoulder neoprene sleeve / strap harness, and finished the game. Might be limited in practice, will not miss any time. And he still will run and do things. He might lead with the other shoulder, but he should be fine. He'll deal with things this whole season. He'll wear that shoulder sleeve wrap the whole season. He might have off-season surgery, but it shouldn't affect him. Exact same injury as Drew Lock, but I'm not saying Josh Allen is tougher than Drew Lock since he's missed a couple of weeks. If it were Josh's throwing shoulder, he'd miss time too. Drew Lock was same, but throwing shoulder. And going into Drew Lock, I think he should return this week. Drew Lock should be back this week. Jimmy Garoppolo, I think, has a good chance to return this week. Obviously, it was the Nick Mullins and then C.J. Beathard show. He should be back this week. And another, when I say this week, I mean week 5. Tyrod Taylor has a good chance of being back this week. The Chargers might kick it out to week 6 saying, well, he's not 100%. But the rubber's meeting the road on whether it's Justin Herbert or Tyrod Taylor this week or at the latest next week. Is he going to lose his job due to injury or not? And let me tell you, if Justin Herbert, as tough as he is, keeps taking hits and delivering blows when he runs like he is, he better be careful, that young guy. He's big, strong, athletic. I really like his game. But look, the next one we'll talk about, even Cam Newton, as big as tough as he is, gets hurt. And so, young buck, be careful there if you want to stay going. You may be big and strong. You may have knocked Wilson, the Kansas City linebacker, out when you took him on head on in week 2. But there's more of them than they are of you, and you're going to get hit there. Be careful, young guy. Cam Newton, obviously out with COVID. This is before the Monday night game, obviously not playing tonight. Here's the key for week 5. If there are any reports of his symptoms, book it. He will not play. Can't get cleared in time for the following week. If he is asymptomatic and he passes a series of negative tests, he could play next week in week 5. Hopefully he stays healthy there. Sam Darnold with an AC joint sprain, separation on his shoulder, on his throwing shoulder. And there are reports that he may not play. Let me tell you where it breaks down here. And we've covered it in some ways before. Return to play is a 3-headed monster. It's like, it's almost like Congress, the President, and the Supreme Court. All 3 have to say yes for a law to be enacted. Any one of those 3 has veto power. In the player world, NFL world, it's the player, the medical, and the team. The player has to say yes, the medical has to say yes, and the team has to say yes. The player decision is sometimes just the player, sometimes the wife, sometimes the agent, sometimes the dad, sometimes the brother, sometimes whatever. I mean, it's sort of a joint vote. The player has final say, but they often listen to other people. The medical is not just the doctor. It's the athletic trainer, the physical therapist, the second opinion doctor, in some ways the MRI, whatever. The third component is the team. Is it the owner? Is it the GM? Is it the head coach? Is it the position coach? Who gets the final say and vote? But each body has 3 votes. They all have to be yes. I believe that Sam Darnold will want to play. I believe medical will let him play. Look, they put him back in the same game. They put some lidocaine, some medicine, Marcaine in there and put him back in the same game. Likely grade 1 or 2 AC joint sprain, which has been confirmed. But will the third entity, the team, say yes? Will the owner say yes? He says, shoot, we got a lot of money invested in him. Will Joe Douglas say yes? He's our future. Or maybe they want to see a change. Will Adam Gase say yes? And really what it also comes down to is, look, if you're Tom Brady, if you're Aaron Rodgers, if you're Russell Wilson, if you're Drew Brees, and you don't practice much during the week, or don't practice at all, and you can get a shot to play, you're playing. With all due respect for Sam Darnold, he's not any of those guys. And he's got a beat-up offensive line. Mekhi Becton, we'll cover that later. And really, do you want to put this young kid out there who's not going to practice most of the week and put him out there and expose him to those dangers and further, shatter any confidence that he has if he's your future? So Sam's going to want to play. Medical will let him play. Will the team stop him? And right now the report from Ian Rappaport is maybe for this week, to give him a chance to catch up. That's why Joe Flacco's there. And, it might not be the worst thing for Sam to take a deep breath. Look, if you're not 100% on your shoulder, your line's beat up, your team's struggling anyways, to take a step back isn't the worst thing in the world. And so that may indeed happen. He could play through, but he may not.